Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. Thank you for joining us today on Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. Quite a cool and, serene morning from here in the beautiful city of Oshogbo, the capital of Osun State. This is Morning Spring. What we do here is to speak truth to power, speaking with critical stakeholders on the business of the nation, as much as about the people and, of course, the state, Nigerians and Nigeria. Femi Ojo is my name. This is the midweek edition of the program. And Tokwe is there. Good morning.
Good morning, Femi. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning to you, viewer. Thank you for joining us today. It is the midweek installment of Morning Spring and Western Spring Television. And my name is Timmy Tokwe. Welcome on board today.
Right, and the newspaper segment is next, where we look into the headlines from different front pages of our dailies here in the nation, Nigeria. The 23rd IGP, Inspector General of Police, will be sworn in, anytime from now, today, by the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he is Olatunji. So we speak about him, and of course, the burden or the expectations, the huge responsibility before the man, who we said earlier in the week had a goodwill of a greater number of people, especially in Lagos State, up till now. But this is a different capacity. But you know what? Fingers crossed, we have a whole session dedicated for that on the program today. Next up is the newspaper segment. Stay with us. All right, we kickstart the newspaper segment today from the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. APC governance consolidate as party picks state ESCOs. APC governance consolidate as party picks state ESCOs. And here, writers Ayedatiwa loyalist hail exercise as deputy governor, ex-deputy governor rather, emerges or your chairman. A cool mayor earlier produced parallel ESCOs in Benue. Interesting. And Enugu Delta governors speak former PDP chairman to lead APC. Edo grants Oshomole automatic ticket to Senate. Interesting. Page 3, page 27, and page 30 of the Nigerian Tribune has, or have those stories. Actually, Middle East crisis, NCPC puts pilgrimage to Jerusalem on hold. That's the most logical thing at this time. And below that, alcohol responsible, alcohol responsible for banditry, kidnapping, NAFDAC defends sachet ban. Okay. Alcohol, well, maybe one of the reasons because I'm sure many Nigerians will say maybe it's part of what emboldens those guys to go on those rampage. But there is much to that than just alcohol. Alcohol might just be one of the tools, actually, they consume to go about all of these things, but something much more that moves them into carry guns. Alcohol will not be the only reason, but then possibly this is coming from NAFDAC, as far as NAFDAC is concerned. So they might be saying is a predisposing factor to violent conduct. But then it's just an headline, page 30 of the Nigerian Tribune has that. I know you have your thought, but then away from that,
aid, but responsibility, I doubt that.
What?
It can aid. I mean, it aids your conduct. If you already have a preconceived notion to do something, you conceive it, you hatch out a plan. Alcohol doesn't do that for you. It only aids you probably to dead your conscience or something. But talking about responsibility, I think that's the wrong word to use.
Well, I think
NAFDAC connotes.
This is coming from NAFDAC, actually. And but by the way, just a headline. Moving on, Ekiti State Governor, there is a picture there that has the Ekiti State Deputy Governor, Chief Mrs. Munisade Afuye, the governor himself, Biodun Oyebanji, former governor of Ekiti State, Chief Ayodele Fayose, and of course, Speaker Ekiti State House of Assembly, Honorable Adeoye Aribasoye, at the All Progressives Congress APC rally held to receive PDP Dinka peace into APC in Ikere, Ekiti on Monday. And one will wonder what Fayose is doing there. But the man has always been saying he will never join the APC. But then whatever helps, the cause in Ekiti State is, down for that. Moving on, Conservative Anglican bloc to elect a rival leader in Abuja. We understand, the high and mighty of the Anglican Church will be meeting in Abuja, and of course for a very decisive, direction moving forward about some decisions as far as the church, the Anglican Church is concerned. Conservative Anglican bloc to elect a rival leader in Abuja. And from the health scene, single daily pill to replace complex HIV drug requirements for older patients. Single daily pill could replace complex HIV drug requirements for older patients. And beside that, the big one, DSS arrest 5 security operatives over El-Rufai's failed arrest at Abuja Airport. Ex-Kaduna Governor's 1 billion naira right suit against ICPC others so far as setback. ADC demands end to selective justice, calls for transparency in El-Rufai and Malami probes. Is what it is. 5 security operatives being questioned at this time for their part, according to the government, which they played in that airport drama and fiasco when El-Rufai, came into the country from Cairo like a few weeks ago. Now, Lassa fever is on the top street. Lassa fever hits 18 states. 28 health workers infected. All right, you must take caution and precaution. Lassa fever hits 18 states, 28 health workers infected. And Tinubu nominated Oyedele as Minister of State for Finance. Moves Zoka Anite to Minister of Budget and National Planning. All right, things have been wagging on. Is it a right fix? Is it, what's it called now? A reward for a good labor of the man, or is it just the right person for the right job? Actually, time shall tell. But then he has been nominated. But you can't take away from the man, for people who knows him for who he is, a 50-year-old, Taiwo Ejele, quite brilliant person by our standard, by the way. But then when you come into the mainstream of governance and politics, it might be a different kettle of fish, but then we wish him all the best. I'll be off from the Nigerian Tribute.
All right, the Punch newspaper this morning, and it starts with tax. It says tax law, VAT hits record 1 trillion naira as new sharing era begins. Value-added tax hits record 1 trillion naira as new sharing era begins. And the riders, states, local governments, packets 903 billion naira under revised revenue sharing formula. Federal government share drops to 10% as subnationals gain larger slice. Lagos leads with 111 billion naira VAT allocation in January. Lagos leads with 111 billion naira VAT allocation in January. And below that, APC inaugurates states local government excos after consensus polls. APC inaugurates states local government excos after consensus polls. And to the lower strip of the paper right there, federal government bans cash tax collections, revenue roadblocks. Baby factory Ondo couple jailed 14 years. Rivers Assembly begins screening of 9 Fubara Commissioner nominees. Rivers Assembly begins screening of 9 Fubara Commissioner nominees. And beside the nameplates there, Israel-Iran tensions, airline lose over 7.5 billion naira amid grounded flights. And to the top story, Tinubu nominates Oyedele as minister. Customers to get 20 billion naira meter refunds from Discos, according to NERC there. RFI DSS detains 5 over airport incident. 1 billion naira suit hangs. DSS detains 5 over airport incident. 1 billion naira suit hangs in the RFI case. Right, that's on page 7 of Punch newspaper this morning. And those are the headlines making the face of the Punch newspaper for this morning.
All right, from the Punch newspaper, let's see The Guardian. The Guardian for today, 40 design, vandalism, neglect, endanger 3.4 billion naira rail overhaul. 40 design, vandalism, neglect, endanger $3.4 billion rail overhaul. All right, and of course, below that you have some stats and a graphic representation of the situation of the rail. Idle rail corridors give vandals time to dismantle infrastructure undetected, posing safety concerns and leading to 189 train derailments at the end of 2025. 189 derailments at the end of 2025. And of course, you have some insights there. Standard gauge railway, existing narrow gauge railway project for standard gauge railway. Excuse me. And you have some roads from Nguru to Kano, through Kaduna to Mina, Abuja, Itakwe, Abeokuta, Benin City, Warri, Onitsha, Port Harcourt, Calabar, and now from Port Harcourt all the way to Maiduguri. And despite securing $3.38 billion in loans from China Exim Bank and counterpart financiers between 2015 and 2023, Nigeria managed to add only 1,500 kilometers of rail nationwide, bringing the total coverage to 5,000 kilometers, and talking about $3.4 billion being spent on, what we have just read out, according to The Guardian. All right, now, farmer header clashes claim 3,000 lives, displaced 300,000 in 5 years. Farmer header clashes claim 3,000 lives, displaced 300,000 in 5 years. News page 30 of The Guardian has started. Below that, federal government approves AI, robotics, coding, cybersecurity centers in 6 varsities. Federal government approves AI, robotics, coding, cybersecurity centers in 6 varsities. All right, it sounds good. Some would say it's not just about the approval. Are we ready to, give it whatever it takes? All the way, talking about the skills needed, the skill set, the kind of people that have start, and of course, the incentives, because it's not just your regular conventional courses. These has to do with folks that will disseminate these knowledge, if we are ready to really support them and make it really lucrative for them to stay, because these are persons that are in demand all over the world. And so it's a good thing that robotics, AI, coding, cybersecurity centers is been approved across universities, 6 universities. But then let's see what we would do with that as a people. Middle East war lifts crude, pushes petrol near 1,000 naira as Nigeria counts gains and risks. Middle East war lifts crude, pushes petrol near 1,000 naira as Nigeria counts gains and risks. You have a picture of some of the big names in this war, talking about Donald Trump of the US, Mr. Netanyahu of Israel, and below that, Umahi Ohiri Bika over allegation as Huriwa demands probe. Umahi Ohiri Bika over allegation as Huriwa demands probe. You saw the picture of the man and the lady there, the accuser Ohiri, and of course the man has been alleged, to be Oye by Ohiri for a job that Miss Ohiri did for him while he was deputy governor, canvassing to be governor years ago, I think 12 years ago or so, in Ebonyi State. And Mr. Ohiri said, I've seen her video, you know, which said she was supposed to produce gift items, you know, as part of campaign stuff for Mr. Umahi while he was canvassing to be governor, and that it was around 25 million or so at the time. But right now, she said that money will be worth 250 million or thereabout at this time right now, and that she has not been paid. Instead, there was a time that she and her staff members went to Mr. Umahi's house and they had to sleep over. And allegedly, Mr. Umahi made sexual advances because he appeared in towel in the middle of the night, according to Ohiri, and she had to just run away and all of those things. And, you know, it has been back and forth. In fact, there was a meeting that was arranged, you know, between both parties, and it didn't go well.
Was it arranged?
Yeah, you know, for both parties to, you know, speak to the issues, and it is what it is. But I saw a video yesterday, you know, where Mr. Umahi, the Minister of Works, was on a work kind of trip, maybe inspection of project and the rest, and he was asked about the matter, and he made, you know, a kind of you know, this was what he said actually, by saying the person that was saying, that's Miss Ohiri, alleging him of sexual advances, that according to him, she looked anyhow. And if it had been Senator Natasha, yeah, your gaze is as good as mine when I saw it. You know, it was Senator Natasha. Maybe that might have appeared like true, because how could he be pursuing such a person, the Miss Ohiri, with any face for 12 years? You know, for someone as handsome as he is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you know, and if it has, and they repeated it, if it has been Natasha, then you might say, and then one will wonder, this Senator Natasha that he talked about, that's somebody's wife, a mother.
A honorable senator.
Let's even talk about
a wife, a mother.
That's somebody's wife.
And you objectify her.
And you're sexualizing.
Exactly.
That's not objectifying. More like,
a sexual object, of
more
course.
Like if it's that kind of beauty. That's what he's trying to say. So it means one can easily say, so all of you guys always have your eye on this Miss Natasha.
That's not even the point.
Is this something that somebody in that kind of stature and capacity as a minister of the Federal Republic will be saying this information didn't happen in a room, not in a parlor, not a gist between friends? It was being interviewed by the press, and that is what he said. Meaning, even if I were to be pursuing person, he should be in the cadre of Senator Natasha. Really? Well, this is what it is. It's, you know, when some persons are saying maybe it's a government of anyhowness, and you've seen many persons in this cabinet, because in as much they are working for the president, Minister Wike is going all about his business in the way he's going about it. This is Umahi that he's saying, if he's somebody's wife, because that's what it means. He will have, maybe that might be true, but this one, for his handsomeness, you need to see that video, or maybe you don't need to see it.
There are several things wrong with the man.
And it's very, like somebody unstable, actually, because I wonder why you say that on camera.
Well, I'm glad you put it that way, but there are several things wrong with the
actually.
Even if you have that
thought within you, there are some things that should die with you, you know, in your fantasy, in your head. Let's say you're even fantasizing. You said it publicly, and you know, more like gloating.
You know, this is where you expect the federal government to mete out the same treatment. I mean, with Natasha, the federal government sued Natasha, you know, for the statements, for the assault allegation and all of those. I expected that this federal government should be suing Umahi for whatever it is that he has said. But no, that is terrible.
Okay.
For the office you hold, you've been what? Governor?
2 times. deputy governor.
It's terrible.
And now a federal minister.
Can
and he
you
doesn't
imagine
still
that?
understand decorum. Simple decorum.
Good.
And
so, and the whole, whatever it is, whether the allegation was even wrong or right, when they called for that meeting, did you see his conduct there?
Yeah.
Threatening words, that, according to the reports. You know,
I saw the videos.
A lot of issues.
The other guys were
on the other side, yes.
And they were telling, why are you using police? And
because they envisaged what was it was a pocket. That's what I was saying. Are you sure it was an arranged meeting or a pocketed meeting? That like they pocketed you to come and have a meeting with the man because of whatever office he's holding, and you came there. Your posture was to come and hound or threaten or try to shut the woman down. Whatever it is, all these allegations that we're talking about, no, that's even on the one side. Right. But what you say, what you use your prominence to do is very, very important. And the image it casts on the Nigerian state. I think that the federal government or all the other human rights and civil society organizations should really take this up. Right. And possibly Natasha herself. Okay,
you know, that whatever you have said now about people taking action, you know, the federal government, you know, around here, they will tell you that you have to wait for a crab to blink before some things will happen.
For a what?
A crab to blink. You know, crabs don't blink, they don't sleep, actually. So you have to wait for that.
Well, I guess that happened in Natasha's case, did it?
Well, so what happened?
Did it happen?
Nothing.
So why the suing on Natasha?
No, I'm talking about if you are expecting that.
I am expecting. Yeah, exactly. It should happen here too.
You expect a crab to blink. Okay. That's it. And we'll be here. And we'll be here for a long time.
Exactly.
In fact, that's all.
All right, interesting development there. Moving to Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And the banner headline says, APC Congress's line up behind Tinubu. And then below that, businesses bleed as blackout persists. Businesses bleed as blackout persists. And then federal government suspends Christian pilgrimage over Middle East crisis. Tinubu nominates Oyedele as Minister of State for Finance. And right here, RFI DSS detains security agents over alleged bribery. And those headlines making the face of Daily Trust newspaper for this morning.
All right. So much to really look into.
And then the countdown, as usual, Daily Trust is known for that. It's day 15 of Ramadan.
Well, good luck. And, both sides, actually. The length is 15. Ramadan is 15. And in the middle of that, we're still having chaos. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll speak to issues with us.